What is going on, everyone? Let me see if this is working correctly in the right place, the right thing. Da, 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 da. It should be, but I don't think it is. All right. I hate this. But it looks like we're on. Let me make sure. All right. What is going on, everyone? All right. What is going on, everyone? All right. We are good to go. Liverpool, good to see you. All the way from Liverpool. Good to see Liverpool in the house. Public content. Thank you very much. Fiddly, how are you, buddy? You're half the reason I did this. I know a lot of people get up different hours and want to see me, and that's why I did it so early today. Haven't done this in a while, so bear with me, everyone. South Carolina, how are you? Just got back from in Savannah. Get with my nice. Denzel, how are you, buddy? You know, it bums me out. This thing doesn't want to work. One of these days, I'm gonna have to sit down and figure out how all this works. So it's streaming right now, but there's a page for YouTube that's supposed to be working too, and it's not. So I don't know what's going on. Who knows? Should be right there, right there, right there. I hope I don't have several streams going right now. Let's see if we can go. Hello from Connecticut. Ontario. Love the shorts. Oh, really? Can you make longer? I always make longer content. Shorts, I barely ever do. Now, the thing about shorts is that's something YouTube's really pushing these days. They want us to make more shorts. They're in competition with Instagram Reels and obviously TikTok. They really want us to do shorts. I do them occasionally, but I put out 3 or 4 long form every single week. The short ones are just like add-ons. Hey, Greg, how are you? Dan S. Mika Wolf, Houston, Texas. I think I'm going to be in Texas, Houston in a couple months. Born and raised in New York, fled to Tennessee a few months ago. So, did you like the video I did the other day? Yesterday, I guess? Nay? All right. How many people got it? It's bumming me out. I can't. Okay, 123. There it is. Let me ask you this. Was there an ad on the beginning of the video when you guys came on? San Juan Key Valley. Yeah, don't forget to hit that like button. I got 138 people on here and only 10 likes. Maybe a couple more. Today we're actually going to do something different. We're going to have we actually have something going on. I'm going to answer some of your emails. I get emails all the time, and I thought maybe it's time we take a look at some of the emails. Well, thanks, Eric. No YouTube ad. No YouTube ad. No YouTube ad. I did not see an ad. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. I was working with this software. This is Restream. Okay. Restream is supposed to be pretty good. So I thought I'd give it a try. It does let me do things like this. So you can see the police department of Portland. No ad, no ad. Miss Piggy's doing good. New air I had a couple airport videos planned, but they didn't the first one did horrible, the delay one. So when that happens, I usually wait, try again in a couple months with more videos on that. Whenever a video just tanks, usually I do it like this. I have a subject and I throw the subject out there. And if the subject doesn't get a good response, then I pivot and go to something else. Now, if I do something that got a great response, like states going downhill, I did five more, cities going downhill, cities moving the right direction, things like that. I stick with the theme. But the airport one tanked. Hey, Russia, how are you? How do I deal with mean kids? I don't know. Are there mean kids in the world? Well, I mean, if you're talking about trolls on the internet and stuff like that, I don't care. I have a rule, and I've said it before on this channel, and it's a life lesson for anyone. And I got it from a drill sergeant when I was in basic training, so I was like 18 or 19 years old, and we were mad about something. In the drill sergeant, I've told this story before, so if you've heard it before, sorry. But the drill sergeant, we were pissed about something. He had run us further than we were expecting. So we're in a bad mood. And he was in front of us. He goes, "Look, I don't care. I have a rule in life. If you ain't effing me and you ain't feeding me, I don't give an F what you think about me." So, as you can imagine, in drill sergeant language, it was a little more graphic. But I've always gone with that. So, kids bully kids online and trolls. I don't care. I actually enjoy the trolls a little bit. Thoughts on New England? I love New England. Let's try this one. Not that one, that one. Can you explain more about that retirement deal in Chattanooga, Tennessee? So I should have added a link to that, and I will. I will go back and find that link, and I'll put it in there. It'll be in there tonight sometime. Is Portland worth the visit? I would say Portland's worth the visit. Definitely, definitely worth the visit. Oh, you just got hammered with snow. Are you back east? Let me do this real quick. Sorry, I got to do something real quick and fix something here. There we go. All right, now we have, make sure this volume's on. Okay, now we're good to go. Let me change the title. There we go. All right. Sorry, guys. Just having to do some stuff here. Let me see here. Weather. I'm from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Any history? There's a ton of history all over Tennessee. Just a little info. Armstrong Airport, North Canada, not actually New Orleans. I'm flying in there. God, so I'll be in Houston in April, and actually I'll be in New Orleans in end of January and February. Hey, Briggs, been thinking about moving to Washington State. Any suggestions? Preferably small town close to a city. So this is what I would suggest. If you would need to be near Seattle, there's Blaine. There's a bunch of really nice ones that are just outside of there. Those are good options. They're expensive. If you want a little bit of a little cheaper and still be in Washington, look at Ridgefield. Look at Battleground. Look at God, there's a couple other ones over there. Vancouver's okay. Washougal, Camas is outstanding. Those ones I would suggest over just about anything else in Washington. They're on the southern side. They're right across the river from Portland. So if you need to go into Portland for anything like that, then it's there. But those are your best options. Ridgefield, Washougal, Camas, Vancouver, Battleground. I like those. All right, let's go to the first email. So a couple of weeks ago, I decided that we kind of change this. And when I get emails, which I get all the time, I thought I would answer some of them in the live chat. So here we go in the live stream. Okay, this from Brian Mayer. We are hoping you could help us out. We're planning on moving to Austin. Now, I read this one, and they're planning on moving to Austin. Want to know which areas are best to live in Austin? Well, you got a couple different choices there. Give me one second here. I had it all down. I close that program down. Okay. So your best choices are going to be like Cedar Park, Pflugerville, Round Rock. There's a little tiny place called Point Venture, and then there's Lakeway, Texas. Those are all good options. Austin right now is a little too crowded and a little. It's too popular. Austin's very popular, and it's got all the problems that a city that's becoming popular have: crowded, traffic, all those things. Now, is it bad like, Dallas and Fort Worth when it comes to crowds and stuff? No, it's still relatively a small city, but it's just getting a little crowded. Go out to the suburbs. I like Cedar Park and I like Round Rock a lot. So yeah, that one's pretty interesting. Guy grew up in Burbank, which isn't too far away from where I grew up, and right now he's living like 10 miles up or 5 miles up the road, if that, from where I am currently. But yeah, if you're moving out to the Austin area, I would look at those ones: Round Rock, Cedar Park. All right, let's see what you guys got going on here. Mississippi Dude. Is that the name of a band? Wait, wait. You can't believe you sound exactly like in the video. Yeah, this is my voice. I don't do much editing to my voice in my videos. The only thing I do is when you're doing a video, most of the editing I do is when you're normally talking, there's those breaths, and I cut out the breaths just like every other YouTuber. That's kind of the style of YouTube. They cut out the breaths. So it sounds like they're talking really fast, but in reality, most of the time we're just cutting out the breaths. My favorite state is Minnesota because it is very similar to Northern Ontario. Very true. Can't argue with that. Am I gonna go to Mardi Gras? No, I'm not. I'm going there. Thanks, Michael. You gonna go to Mardi Gras? No, I am not going to Mardi Gras. I don't even know when Mardi Gras is anymore. Isn't that March? Anyway, I'm taking off on a cruise there, but I thought I'd go down, spend a couple days in New Orleans before the cruise. That is what I always like to hear. Thanks, Brian. Expect Shale Sonnen. Dude takes 30-second breaks. Yeah, he does. I like Shale Sonnen. He's pretty good. But yeah, he takes some long breaks and he has these pregnant pauses, as I like to call them. All right, Denzel Briggs. Let's go there. Denzel's our good pal. Briggs, have you ever gone to see the waterfalls in Watkins Glen, New York? They're beautiful in the springtime. I did. It was many years ago. I'm talking mid 90s. That was the last time I was in Watkins Glen. Um, hey, Derek Ray, thank you very much. I love Watkins Glen. I think it's beautiful. I went there. I saw a race, a NASCAR race. It was great. We did a little hiking, but actually, I've been there twice because the race was in like the spring or the summer, and then I went there during the winter. Briggs, greetings from Fresno, California. The city sucks though. Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it? It's too bad. Every time I've been to Fresno, seems like every time it's been like August. So you know what that's like. You get it, got it, good. Actually, that's I've always said that to my kids when they were younger. I was telling something, get it? When I'd explain something, get it, got it, good. Let's move on. And thank you for supporting the channel. I really appreciate that, Derek. Oh, that brings us to another email. Okay, so I get these ones all the time. I made a short about one of them. Okay, I have another one. This one is from where is it? Where is it? And- Andrea with an O. Andrea. Okay, never seen it that way, but it's Andrea. Andrea's in a bad situation. Da 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 da. She wants to move. She doesn't like the city she's in, which she's in Jackson, Mississippi. I totally understand not wanting to be in Jackson, Mississippi. Could I help her rent a U-Haul? Um, I don't give people money. I mean, that's not what I do. I say I'll help people all the time, and that's usually in the form of advice. Uh, I get requests for people wanting money from me, and I don't know what brought this on, but I get requests weekly for money from me. Now, I give a good amount of money away. Normally, it's in the form of Donors Choose, which is a website that basically helps teachers and stuff like that get projects in their classrooms done. They basically a teacher will put up like a GoFundMe for a project, and I do that. There's a handful of subscribers and people have been with me for a very long time on this channel that I've helped out when they've been in bad shape because they put up a GoFundMe. I'll share the GoFundMe. I'll maybe even throw a little cash at it. But am I going to help you move? Am I going to help you put down your deposit, which I've been asked multiple times for a new apartment? I'm not going to do that. Not that I don't want to. If that's really your situation, I would love to help everyone out on the planet. But it's the internet, man. People lie all the time. That's why I say I've helped out in the form of GoFundMe's a lot because at least I know that's what's going on. I don't know that I'm giving someone because they got a chemicals chemical or they don't have a substance abuse problem, um, and I'm just funding their substance abuse. So yeah, I mean, don't ask me for money unless you have a GoFundMe and stuff like that. We had one of our friends been here forever, truck driver got really sick, couldn't drive for like 3 months, and was in bad shape. I shared it on the channel. People got money to them, and I helped out too. So, yeah, that's where I help out. Oh, hey, thanks. Thank for Sizzle. I really appreciate that. Super Chad. Buying a home in late, early to I would. So here's the thing. Um, Let me make sure I didn't miss anything while I was on my rant. Then I'll go back to that. Oh, here we go. Sorry. Devo, love the t-shirt. Are we men? Let me get to that one first. We are Devo. So if you don't know, Devo's one of the greatest bands that came out of the 80s. Everyone just thinks they did the song Whip It, but there's so much more to that band. I've seen them like 5 or 6 times in concert. And I actually have a couple shirts from Devo, including a sleeveless maxi turtle, which does not fit me anymore because I bought it when I was like 16 and put it in plastic bag. And I'm not the size I was at 16. Okay, let me get to that other one. As far as buying a house, and thank you for supporting the channel, everyone. As far as uh, buying a house, 2022, 2023. I'm not a financial guy. I don't. I'm not giving you advice. I'm telling you what I would do. This is how I see it. Interest rates are really high, so your mortgage is going to be, kind of up there. I don't think the mortgage rates are going to drop any lower at least for a few more years. So if you're in the market, just go ahead and do it. Make sure you have a loan that in a couple years, if the interest rates do go down, you could refinance. I got a really good loan for this house in 2019. Then the interest rates dropped even more in 2020. So it was a year later. But since I'd had the loan for 6 months, that was the only clause in there, I could refinance, which I did, which I think saves me like 250 bucks a month. Not a lot, but over time, that's a lot of money. So yeah, I would buy a house right now because house prices are down. And if your future with your job and everything like that, you're financially set, do it. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I think in 2024, 2023, the prices, I feel will still be going down. They are right now. But come 2024, I think it'll recover and we'll be going back up again. Stop typing. It's one of my favorite quotes too. What's your thoughts on Cedar City, Utah? It's nice. I mean, it's been a few years since I've been there, but it's nice. Um, I was kind of surprised. Ogden City, I saw the stats on it, and it's not as good as it used to be. What's your home city, if you're comfortable sharing? I live outside of Portland, Oregon, in kind of the woods. Actually, I should say, so we have a urban boundary here in the Portland, Oregon metro area, and there's not many houses past where I live. I live on the west side of the Portland metro area, and I'm right there where the farmland and the wooded areas start. And to the east of me is suburbs. Hey, thank you very much. Really mysterious super chat. Could you please do a top 10 places in Canada? We are working on some more Canada videos. We did some like 2 or 3 years ago, and we haven't really done any since then. I think I did one on top 10 reasons not to move Vancouver, and it kind of tanked, and I quit doing Canadian ones. So we will be getting back to those soon. That is the plan for 2023, probably February or March. Denzel. Years ago, I went camping and fishing trip with my cousin's uncle, Lake Ontario, near Fullerton, New York, near Fulton, New York. Sorry, that was a fun trip. Oh, it's always fun when you go fishing with family. My friend Will, I'll be going fishing with him a couple times this year. He has a channel called Hermens Outdoors. If you ever get a chance, go over there. He's getting to the point where he's got a lot of subscribers. He's on the right track. He just needs more people. Let me see if I can find him. He's actually his wife is my oldest friend. We went to high school together. We've known each other since we're like 15. Boom. There it is. If you ever get a chance, go over there and subscribe to Will. He's a good guy. Blue Collar Diesel, thank you very much for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. Let me see this one. This one looks good. What are the best cities in your opinion with a younger population? Sorry, can't even speak. Mild weather, good tech communities with things to do like comedy, music, insanely overpopulated like LA, San Francisco, New York. So, um, you know, there's places like Boulder, Colorado, which are probably good. Bend, Oregon, both have a little bit of a homeless problem. See, so this is what I'll tell you. Almost every city in the United States right now has a homeless population. And that always comes up. Well, what about all the homeless? Well, every place has homeless. It's our economy. It's the way things are right now. Every city's going to have some homeless. The cities that have a extremely bad situation with homeless would be on the West Coast: Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, Los Angeles. Every place else, they have a, let's say, not that it's normal, but it's a normal amount. It's an acceptable amount, I guess you could say. It's never acceptable, but you get what I'm saying. Um, so if you're looking for a place like that with mild weather, so Boulder's going to get some snow, but you know, it's Colorado, that happens. Uh, San Diego, I would go with San Diego. Good tech community, good population, younger people, great weather. Comedy club there. I used to play it all the time. The Comedy Store, La Jolla. Uh, and San Diego's not terrible. So those are the ones I would suggest. On the East Coast, you got Asheville, You've got, which this is a sleeper one. If you want to make some money and you work remotely, give Charleston, West Virginia a look. Outside the city, it gets backwoods in a hurry, but Charleston, West Virginia is a great place to live, especially if you're young. That's my opinion. All right. I've got 165 people in here. What are the best areas in New Hampshire? Ooh, that's a good question. So, New Hampshire's just about any place. The northern part gets really cold, but the southern section and outside of the cities, there's a lot of options there. And most of their best places to live are rural small towns. So just about any one is solid. Okay. There. Okay. So we did here's one. If it pops up. Have you ever thought about doing a national parks video? Which national park stadium visit ones to avoid? So I've done a couple on national parks. They did okay. Top 10 ones. I did one that was most overlooked national park, things like that. So I've done those. We might do them again sometime. Send a super chat. Did I miss it? I'm sorry. Let me find out. Coffee, 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 coffee. Oh, there you go. I'm sorry. Let me see that. If I miss one, please call me out on it, guys. Like I said, I do this by myself. The chat is running pretty quick. I do what I can. Okay. Super chat. What are really good best places? New England area, maybe Massachusetts, although it's incredibly expensive. Massachusetts is incredibly expensive. Vermont has become one of the most moved to states in the country right now. Maine is pretty good also. Those are probably your best option as far as New England states go. This is something I always get this all the time, and I'm not sure why people include Pennsylvania in New England, but a lot of people always say, "I want to move to New England or Pennsylvania." Okay, so I know these states are very similar. They have a lot of the same shared history. They're just not part of New England, but you could almost consider them part of New England in a lot of ways. Anyway, they're not, but if you want to live in the New England area and live a little bit cheaper, uh, northeastern Pennsylvania is probably a good option. But Vermont is still somewhat affordable. So is New Hampshire. Connecticut, outside of Hartford's pretty good. Um, honest, my honest opinion is stay out of Massachusetts. You can get so much more for your money in almost any one of the other New England states. All right, let me see. Did I missed anything? What is most sort of small town getting each region in the United States? Ooh, good question. I'll tell you what my opinion is on significant small town historically. Number one's got to be Gettysburg. Gettysburg is truly a small town, and we all know what went on in Gettysburg. It's very amazing. Please talk. I thought I was talking. Are you talking to me or someone else? Okay. How about centimeters per state? What? Why would anyone want to know centimeters per state? Oh, cemeteries. Sorry, I'm an idiot. Everyone doesn't hate Kentucky, but there is a strong dislike. Did that one already. See this one. I'd love to meet or see the most rural towns in California, shelters of cove. Da 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 da. Unbelievably. So there are a good amount of small towns on the northern side of California that are on the coast, and they're really really small. Boom. Let's see what this one is. Thank you for supporting the channel, BC. Whatever that is. I'm not even gonna try. You see me? Okay. Thank you for supporting the channel. I really appreciate that. Tell me about not so bad towns north of Sacramento. Huh, that's pretty funny. Weird. My parents are old and need to move back. Oh, okay. So my parents are old and need to move back. North of San Francisco or Sacramento. Let me pull out the map real quick. I got some ideas for you. Thank you for supporting the channel, guys. I have some in my mind, and I can't think of their names right now. But so if you want to stay in the coastal areas above okay, so Redding's a good option. It just gets terribly hot there during the summer. If you've lived in California, you've heard all about it. Now, there's Eureka, which maybe there's Fortuna, which is nice. Ferndale is outrageously good. I like Ferndale. There's one that I'm supposed to go up and see. There's Weaverville, which is solid, and Willow Creek, which is kind of a little too small. But if you're looking for a small town in the mountains, those are great. Now, if you want to stay in the area where you're kind of around a city, but you're north of Sacramento, there's a lot of different options. You got Chico. They're all going to have a little bit of crime and a little bit of homeless situation. That's just part of it. Red Bluff's not the best. Redding's kind of turned the corner a little bit, and they're getting better. So I would say look in the between Redding and Red Bluff, somewhere along the 5, and you'll find a good place for them. But if they want to go into the mountains, look at Weaverville. Weaverville's pretty good. Myself, if I was going to move that area, I would probably want to move to Grass Valley or Truckee if I could afford it. Truckee's expensive. Oh, expensive. Okay, let me see if I missed anything while going on that. But yes, thank you again for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. Wilton, I'm in Sacramento. Lost Coast. Lost Coast is the best coast. Lost Coast is up there by Ferndale and all that stuff. It's really, really beautiful up there, and it's slow and it's nice. I did a video on Ferndale. Ferndale kind of looks like a movie set. It's really nice. All right. He has no options. Bay Area is too expensive. Yeah. Stockton sucks pretty bad. Chico might be worth a visit. Yeah. My niece goes to Chico State right now. In-depth Eugene, Oregon video. Well, I've been thinking about that. I don't know if anyone would be interested in. I mean, people are interested in Portland, Oregon because either they love it or they hate it. There's like no in between hardly. So yeah. What state would I never live in? Um, I'm not a fan of the South. My family's from Mississippi. My biological father's side of the family's from Mississippi. I've spent summers there. Didn't like it. Went through the military. Every time I signed up for something, I ended up in Georgia for some reason. South Carolina, I've been there. South Carolina, the only thing I like about that is the low country, Charleston and Bluffton, that area, stuff like that. I love Savannah, Georgia. But most of the South, I mean, inland from the coast, I have no use for it. And so it could be any one of them: Louisiana, Mississippi, Georgia. I probably never live in any of those. Iowa. Let me see that one. Catherine. What affordable city would be the best for people that don't drive? Ooh, solid question. So you've obviously got to have something that's very walkable, and you want a city, not a town. So your options are gonna have to be. Portland's really not affordable now. Portland has one of the best um, public transit with all the trains and our trolleys and all that stuff. Trolleys, I don't think we have trolleys, but trains and stuff. That is a good question. San Diego's not affordable. Wow, what the one? I'm trying to think of one. I was just doing one on most walkable cities or best public transit. Here's what I was looking at the other day. Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is solid. It's on the East Coast, gets a little cold, but it's still pretty solid. Seattle's considered the best right now. It didn't used to be the best. Madison, Wisconsin is affordable. and it's got a great transit system, and it's very walkable, especially if you live downtown. But probably your best choices are going to be Denver, Pittsburgh, Madison, Wisconsin. Those are affordable. They they have great public transit systems. Boom, 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 boom. Did I miss anything important? Harmony Church. Yes, you, sir, win the prize of the night if I had a prize. I went through Harmony Church uh, back in the old days. I think the barracks only lasted 3 years after I was there. So, if you join the infantry, you end up in Fort Benning, Georgia. That's the U.S. Army Infantry. Ranger School, Airborne School, all that goes on in Fort Benning, Georgia. And back in the day, there was two training facilities. One was called Harmony Church. That was the older one, and then the newer one was Sand Hill. Harmony Church was made up of World War II temporary buildings. I went through in 85. Okay. So these were made as temporary buildings in the 1940s, and they were still standing in 1985. I think they lasted till like 89. Anyway, could be wrong. Um, so yeah, Harmony Church was where we all grow up and live. Okay, I got another super chat. Let me see what it is. I got a couple. I'm gonna get to another one in a second. Super chat. Rogers versus Huntsville. Rogers by far. Huntsville's nice, but I would take Rogers in a heartbeat because Huntsville's a little more expensive. Huntsville is kind of a little more crowded. Rogers is moving in the right direction, so it's got a lot more potential. But thank you for informative. I appreciate the support, and let's go on to coffee. I saw they posted another one up here. What do you got? Super chat. Thank you very much, coffee and chocolate. My favorite is Virginia, I think, and we've talked about Asheville forever, but apparently Asheville isn't doing so hot right now. Give it a little time. When are some? What are some places you can tell her about? Little minded, biopic. Okay. Um, so I'm thinking right now. Give me a second. I didn't freeze. So there's a lot of options here. South Carolina and the Low Country is going to have some pretty good spots for you. Um, if you didn't like Asheville, look at Bluffton, places like that. I hope my internet's not dying. Connecting. Maybe that's just my Nest. If I disappear for a second, guys, I'll be right back up. For some reason, my Nest cameras all just went dead. And yes, I have to have cameras around my house because I have people coming to my front door occasionally. Okay, so I would look at the Low Country of South Carolina. That might be a really good option if she likes that. Again, Charleston, West Virginia might be worth a look too. She's right there in Virginia. Give a ride out there, see if she likes it. It's not for everyone, but it is affordable and it is very liberal, I guess you could say, and it's getting better. But I would look at the Low Country, Bluffton, that area, Charleston to Bluffton, anywhere in there. She might find something that's going to work for her. You also have some other places in the coast of North Carolina that could be decent as well. Thank you for supporting the channel. I really appreciate that. 89 to 93. Do you know there's a Briggs Middle School? I'm sure there is. There's a Briggs Street around here, and I know there's a Briggs High School in Indiana, I believe. Yeah, that's about the truth about Minnesota. Let's see what this one says. My family is from Louisiana. I am not a fan of the Deep South. Yeah, that there's some problems with it, obviously. I mean, um, when you have any kind of racism, anything that's kind of built into society, like racism or something like that, it takes generation after generation to really get away from it. I mean, is it better than it was in the 1950s? Sounds like it. Better than it was in the 70s? Yeah, it's better. Better than it was in the 90s? Maybe a little bit. Even though these days racism and different events are being thrown to the head of the line when it comes to the news cycle because it gets the clicks. Um, but I think overall it's better. What do we got here? Super chat. I think I already got that one. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Let's get down here a little bit. Denzel, what's Denzel got to say? Top 30 best mountain affordable towns in Appalachian regions. Ooh. Um, there is Denzel. That might be a Appalachian. I think we might do that. So there's a bunch of different regions in the United States. You got your Pacific Northwest, where I live. You have the South. You have the Deep South. You have the North Atlantic or Mid Atlantic. You have the Northeastern states. You have New England, Midwest, Upper Midwest. There's 101 different regions, including Appalachian region. We might have to break it down with that and go with the mountain region and see what we could find in the different regions. That might be a good idea. I think you came up with a good idea, Denzel. Ranch. Okay, let's get back down here. Did I miss anything? Sorry if I did. Is there a Briggs base? I don't think there is. If it is, it's not in the Army. I pretty much know all the bases, at least the ones that were around when I was there on up. But yeah. Renee Salazar, how are you? It has been a while, Renee. How have you been? Renee's another one. Been with me forever. Been with me. Make it sound like she lives at my house. Montana. We're getting ready to do one in Wyoming. I'll tell you why we're doing one in Wyoming. Because I got this. I'm actually going to share it. I blocked out a couple of his letters on his email address, but I got this gem the other day. Wait, can I do it this way? Graphic, overlay video clip, background. I think I got to just. I wonder if this works this way. This might not work. Let me see. Text too long. Okay, 120 characters. Let's just go to the chat. Paste. Send. So I got this gem the other day. We saw your clips about Wyoming. Please leave our state off your show. And I said, no, I'm getting ready to do another one next week. After this email, I plan even more, which is the truth. When someone sends me something and tells me to get rid of it, I just want to make more videos about that. I got to find something here. I actually shared this one on my Facebook the other day. My friends think, see, if on my Facebook, I share all the weird emails I get, right? And I get a lot of them. And my friends think they're hysterical. So I'm thinking I might have to my friends think I should write a book of all these things. So here it is. Copy and paste. Here we go. Sorry if I missed anything, guys. Paste. So this first one I got, it was from Peggy. I have watched the video about why so many people are moving to Idaho. Thank you very much for such a nice video about our great state. But I'm going to have to ask you to take it down. That's the first thing she said to me. And she said, as of today. That's how she finished that up. She wanted me to take it down today. Let me get the next part of it. That's my reply. I'm happy you enjoyed it. It ain't coming down. So this is when it got spicy with old Peggy. Peggy informed me that I was hoping we wouldn't have be this. I was hoping we could do this the easy way, but I guess not. Your video has the potential to go viral and cause more people to flood into Idaho, destroying the lifestyle so many of us enjoy. I will call every state office until I find someone, and then you can't see it, I don't think, that will have this video removed. So this woman was under the impression that some government agency could force me to remove the video. My reply was, good luck with that. I have to tell you, Bernie Sanders has a better chance of being elected governor of Idaho than you do of getting this video down. That was followed by this gem. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's what I'm looking for. I'm prepared to go door to door and get signature requesting you remove the video. How many videos would you accept to remove the video? So apparently she thinks if she can get, start a grassroots operation, I'll remove the video. So, I mean, when someone's going to go that far, you got to give them a response. And my response was simply, half the population, half the population of Idaho should be sufficient, right? So it took her about an hour or so, and she came back. Apparently, she was doing the math or something, but she replied with this one. That is almost 1 million people. You're being very unreasonable. That would take a year or more. A year or more, right? So now she thinks I'm being unreasonable. She doesn't realize how unreasonable I could be. So our last communication went like this. Went like this. Oh, anyway, no, that was something someone said. Sorry. I gave you the wrong one. You're burning daylight. So that's when Peggy was done talking to me. Yeah, Peggy was a treat. Actually, I think she emailed me again the other day. Um, but anyway, that was the end of the conversation that day. Thoughts on Apple Valley, Minnesota? I don't know much about Apple Valley, Minnesota. I know more about Apple Valley in California. Yeah, it's like, but it just cracks me up. That is one of the most common things I get is people telling me I need to take the video down, like they're, you know, like because they think they I should, I'm going to, and it's because they feel strongly about it. I think a lot of cases it's someone doesn't they're used to getting their way, I guess, and I don't understand it. But okay, hopefully your family is doing well. I have one son who moved to Florida and one to Utah. I miss them. I bet, Renee. That's rough. That is rough. Um, my son, when he was gone in the army, killed me. Now he lives with his girlfriend. They have a place about 4 miles away, and I just like having him in the house. Now my daughter's talking about moving out. She's about to get her nursing license. Once she has that, she plans on getting her own place. Boom, new messages. Let's see what we got here. Sorry, I know I missed something here. Here we go. Vic Haber Smith, thank you for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. No question, just thanks. Well, thank you, Vic. I had one guy who told me to take down a video. Older gentleman, I gather, and he explained to me that there was a couple things. He listed like 40 things he felt were wrong. Now the video was done like a year prior, and he was saying how since the numbers weren't the same anymore, I needed to take the video down. I went back and forth with him. Look, I'm sure people are understand that the video was done over a year ago and numbers changed, stuff like he wasn't having it. And finally, I just realized he's just trying to be the intellectual in the room and make me feel small, I guess you could say. So I'm all, you know what? I was considering everything you said, but then I decided to make a smoothie. And then he just lost it. He just went on and on. What are you talking about, a smoothie? I'm talking about the smoothie I just made while you were typing. And I think bananas are out of season. And I said, do you think bananas go out of season? He's all, why do you? And I said bananas like 4 different times. And so I said, my final response to him, or he responded to me with, why do you keep trying to insert bananas into the conversation? I put in quotes, insert bananas, LOL. He never commented back to me. It was pretty rough, but yeah, I get those all the time. Remove this video now. You're offended by my t-shirt, as you should. Spencer, thank you for the imaginary $50. It's the thought that counts, pal. Best YouTube channel ever. I know that's the title of your channel, but it should be the title of my channel. No, just kidding. I'm in Ogden, Utah, and my wife really enjoy your content. Um, Let me get that up there. Sit down and relax. Well, thanks, Robert. I'm glad you enjoy that. I have I get things like that. We sit down and we watch them all the time and stuff like that. I have a few teachers that start their class off with my videos sometimes. Um, the on this days are easy. I tell everyone, they're going to be G rated and stuff like that. But if you're showing my stuff to kids, kind of, go over it once before you share it with them. Sometimes I say some weird stuff. Would you ever do a video about the top 10 countries with the best job market for expats? Could be possible. I never thought about that. Meaning if you are looking to move outside the US, we want a great paying job in another country. Well, that could be a solid thing because there's a lot of other countries that it's hard for you to work. It's not just get a visa and go there and work. Usually a company has to set it up before you come there and work. There's a lot of countries that really don't want foreigners moving there and working. So it's kind of hard. And it might be a solid idea for video. People need to understand it's your channel and your channel is based off of facts and they need to know how long videos are posted, dated time of video. Yeah, that's the Fry Family Adventures. Thank you. That is the thing. You need to look at when the video was posted. Things change all the time. I watched a video where they were talking about uh, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees and how many votes they got. Should they have taken that video down because it was 4 years ago and they have new nominees this year? It's like, what? I don't understand it sometimes. As a U.S. Army vet, dating myself here, the Huey crew chief. Oh, there you go. 10 Army bases that would be stationed. I get that request all the time. I'm just not sure how well it would be. And most of my information is dated because I haven't been in the Army in like 2000. When was 2005? That's the last time I put on a uniform. And my last years were in California. Were you in the 7th ID? Yes, I was in the 7th ID. That was my first unit, then 4th, and then 40th Infantry Division. Boom. Super chat. Favorite post station? Mine was Fort Huachuca. It's nice. I like Fort Huachuca. Um, I liked Fort Ord. I liked Fort Ord a lot. But it's now a college, but that was my first duty station, and it was nice. I liked Fort Stewart was decent because I liked Savannah right there. I didn't like Benning, didn't like Fort Bragg. Uh, Fort Carson was okay, nothing special, but Fort Ord was my favorite. What California? Let me see what this one says. What California cities lay back and good for someone in their 20s? Can't decide. West LA, San Diego, Irvine, all good to me. Yeah, I would go Irvine or I would go San Diego. Irvine's going to be the cheaper one, I imagine, because it's further inland. LA's not worth the money right now unless you're going to go to the South Bay of Los Angeles. That might be okay. It's still expensive, but it's not run down like, let's say, West LA or downtown LA or something like that. West LA is not that bad. I shouldn't say it. It's just painfully expensive. I've thought about doing one for the best place for retired vets because there's a big difference in states. What do we got here? Boom. $1 billion idea. Thanks for supporting the channel. I've saved up 100,000. What expensive state? Best house. House hack. Um, Want to stay out of Mississippi because their property values aren't going to go up anytime soon. Arkansas is probably a good choice outside of Pine Bluff and Little Rock. The top, the northwest section's probably your best bet. Missouri, I kind of like Missouri and Indiana too, especially you have a place like Fort Myer, or not Fort Myer. I hate it when I get my forts mixed up. So many towns called forts, I often forget what they are. Nobody tell me in the comments section. Fort Wayne, thank you very much, Jim. Thank you for having a map. Boom. But thank you for supporting the channel. So I didn't go to RASP. I went to CLC. They had it at Fort Ord, their own version. They got tired of sending people to RIP, because that was the biggest problem with getting into Ranger School was you had to go through RIP or RASP, whatever, at the time. And Fort Ord's all, we're going to get our own certified. So we had CLC, Combat Leadership Course, and you had to go through that before you can go to Ranger School. African or South American? Thank you, Brian. I will keep up the good work. Fort Campbell. Fort Campbell, that's one I have not thought about forever. Is it still a place? Kentucky, that's right. Fort Campbell, Kentucky. 101st? Yeah, that was Air Assault. My best friend went there for a while. He was a load master. That's what he went to, his MOS was. Whatever the numbers are for that one, I forget. Many years ago. I haven't thought about Fort Campbell in forever. My cousin went to Fort Knox. Hey, Fort Irwin. Fort Irwin blows. If you don't know anything about the military, put it this way: you have to be in between Vegas and Los Angeles, which is the middle of the desert, right? And you're driving there, and then you take a road that takes you like 30 miles out further into the desert on a 2-lane road to find Fort Irwin. If you would die if you had to walk there. That's how bad it is. It's just that bad. It's horrible. Ooh, your favorite channel? You're my favorite person. One of your favorite channels. Oh, okay. Spent 3 years there, huh? Nice. Home the 101st. That's where they are, isn't it? Yeah. You know what I was thinking? Why was I thinking 2nd Infantry Division? They're in Korea right now. I was thinking Fort Campbell at the 2nd. I got them confused. Is Are they there anymore? That's a good question. Mike, thank you for supporting the channel, Mike. I really appreciate it. Uh, if you could choose anywhere in the U.S. to spend Christmas, where would it be? New England. New England. God, it would be something like probably in New Hampshire. Only because I mean it looks like a romance novel when it starts snowing there and the holidays. Oh, I mean any place that looks like a freaking postcard. I'd love to be there. Concord. I actually have a friend, army buddy, who just moved to, I believe, Concord. Um, Maybe it's Manchester. I think it's Manchester. But I mean, if you could live in one of the small towns like Plymouth, or I mean, even up higher like Jefferson, Berlin, little outside towns in New Hampshire, even in Vermont, that whole area, New England, that's where I'd spend Christmas. And there's about 20 towns in each one of those states that I could choose, and you'd be perfectly happy with. I have been to several Latin American countries: Nicaragua, Honduras, Panama, Colombia, Peru, um, forgetting something. Mexico's North America. That doesn't count. Belize. Actually, I'll be in Belize on the 2nd of February. El Salvador. Briefly in El Salvador for like 5 days. That was it. So I've been there. Not much. Didn't do anything there. Stayed in Honduras for a while. Stayed in Panama for a while too. I love the name. Oh, the bot flies. I saw a nasty video about a guy getting a bot fly taken out of his back. It was pretty gross. Manny Ramirez, what is up with you? Hold on one second. Sorry, guys. Hey, Google, show me the front door. Ah, the boys are here. My son's friends are over. Briggs, one of the best channels. Thank you very much. You get posted for that one. Hombre, homeboy. Thank you very much. I had I was at the pharmacy the other day, and I was talking to the girl, and so you're paying for your stuff, and you get your medication or whatever, and there's these little dividers, almost like a stand-up urinal, and I'm sitting there, I'm talking to the person, and all of a sudden the person to my left goes, they look over the thing, and I was like, yeah, and they're all, you sound like the YouTuber Briggs. And I'm all, thanks. I've heard that before. And the girl that was helping me looks down, sees my name, and just smiles at me. I was like, I don't want to have a conversation while I'm picking up pills. Minnesota used to be Minnesota's still nice. Thank you very much, Slap Doctor. Boom. Spencer Honda. Gotta go, but a lot of fun. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. What are your services in helping people move? You mentioned this in your video. If someone wants to email me and ask me information about a place, I'll give them information. That's not a service. It's just something I do if I have time. I usually get, I'm trying to find a nice place. Like earlier, I'm trying to find a nice place around Austin, and I'm not sure which place to choose. And I'll tell you, do you have kids? You probably want to look at Pflugerville or something like that. If you have kids, if you don't have kids and you want to have a nightlife, you might want to try Round Rock, that type thing. That's not really a service. It's just if someone asks me a question, I answer it. But that doesn't mean people don't sometimes think I have a service. For some reason, for a while there, I don't know what was going on, but People thought I had a moving company. Don't have a moving company. Angry Cops, huh? For best YouTube, is that a channel, Angry Cops? Why haven't I heard of that? Angry Cops. That is a channel. Wow, 1 million? I've never heard of that, huh? This guy got going on here. Oh, he does an angry meme review, huh? Okay. Along with other things. Boom. Gotta go. Randy Cox, thanks for hanging out. Happy holidays, pal. Appreciate it. Appreciate you hanging out. And your too. Thank you very much. I love that you love my channel. Boom, boom, boom. Almost at stress. Have you been planning? Yes, actually, I am planning something for my when I get to million. There's a, arcade, old school, I mean, like Donkey Kong, pinball machines, things like that, Space Invaders. It's an arcade in downtown Portland called Ground Control, and I tried to contact people, they didn't get back to me yet, but I wanna rent the whole place out. They have 2 places now, so I wanna see and they're right next to each other. There's the red room and the blue room. I wanna rent one of them out for the 1,000,000 party and, have a bunch of people there, but they haven't got back to me, so I don't know if I'm gonna change locations or what, but that's the plan. I think I should hit 900,000, uh, next day or so. Where am I at? Ooh, nice sneeze there, Jim. I'm at 899,342. I'm probably gonna hit that tomorrow. I'll get to 900,000 tomorrow, and hopefully, because 'cause we're in the busy part of the year, I could, get a dent on that last 100,000 by the end of January. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Boom, what we got here? Mike, let me see. Thank you for supporting the channel, Mike. I really appreciate it. Follow-up question, where would you spend 4th of July? Ooh, ooh. So I've wanted to do Washington, DC for some time. Tampa has a really good 4th of July as well. Um, I wanna try Washington, DC. I think if that's probably where I'd wanna spend the next one. Um, or maybe someplace in the middle of America, like Sioux City, Iowa, or something like that. They always go big on 4th of July. That's like the big event. That's like New York's New Year's, someplace like Sioux City or Des Moines, Iowa, you know, someplace in Nebraska, they go off on 4th of July. They celebrate what they have and what they love, and in most cases, if you're in the Midwest, you love America. Everyone used to be that way. Didn't matter where you're from, what part of the country. Boom, 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 boom. Best YouTube channel ever. Trying to do his best place for remote workers. Yes, it's called Big City. Yep, very true. So Chattanooga has got some crime issues, but they're a city that now there's some really great things when it comes to um, a high crime rate. First of all, a high crime rate looks bad and it has a bad reputation, but in reality, unless it's Southside Chicago, Detroit, or something like that, the chances of you getting accosted or murdered are pretty slim, no matter where you are in the country. If you avoid certain parts of any town, you'll do great. You'll be fine. South side Chicago is horrible, but if you stay on the north side or by the loop, it's a wonderful city. Most people don't understand that. They think it's a war zone. Even here in Portland, if you stay in certain areas like up by the college or different Other places, Goose Hollow, maybe, it's great, but if you go down to, like, the Slabtown area or, Chinatown, it's horrible. It's just where you go in each town, but Chattanooga, because they have some bad crime in certain areas, makes the whole city look bad, and that helps the cost of living stay down, and that helps, you know, the real estate prices stay down. So now's the time you get into a place like that, especially if you're in your 30s, you can afford a house there, and by the time you're 40, it's probably gonna be a really nice place to live. Tell us where to buy your shirts. So if you watch any one of my videos, especially on a computer, right below the video, there's a thing of a bunch of T-shirts. You can click all my T-shirts in there and buy whichever one you want, and it's always appreciated. Helps support the channel, and you get a shirt. Why can't they fix Southside Chicago? It's money. It's in such bad shape, there's a lot of different things they could do. I mean, you just can't go and arrest everyone and problem solved. Now you've got a high budget problem with everyone in the jail, so you gotta do things, and it takes decades to fix, like, make sure more people there have a job. It's just a fact of life. If an area has more jobs, that means fewer people are causing trouble, which means the crime rate gets better, property values get up, more people with, let's say, okay, so not because you're broke, you're a scumbag, but the chances of you being a scumbag when you're a criminal, when you're poor, is higher than if you're making a good living. Now, I kinda lost my train of thought here, but so they need to invest in Southside Chicago, and it will take decades to pull it out of where it is. Now, the thing is, most politicians, they wanna see a result next year. You have to can't, you're not going to. So they put everything, keep pushing back because they don't wanna invest the money in an area like outside Chicago that they're not gonna see results from for, like, 5 or 10 years. I've done these it's kinda what I went to school for, and there's a lot that goes into it. One of these days, I should just do a documentary. Coffee and chocolate, thank you again for supporting the channel. You're like the big winner here today. Which is better, Pacific Northwest or Asheville, North Carolina? Solid question. I would take Pacific Northwest, uh, but I really like Asheville. Asheville's a solid second choice. Thanks again for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. This one's like, "That's a long motorhome to travel for a year." Oh, that's great. I'd love to own a motorhome and do the same thing myself. Listen, guys, now I dropped the ball on something. There is a young man, watches my channel all the time, and he's traveling the country with his mom and dad in a motorhome. Um, he sent me a list of his favorite places, and I was going to make a video about it. My computer collapsed, and I think I may have deleted the whole string of emails I had with them. If you're out there and you hear this, please email me again. I've completely dropped the ball. I feel bad, and I think about it every single day. Um, so if you're out there, please email me again if you hear this. Um, Asheville's a great place to retire, it really is. Nick Hill, thank you very much. Does anyone know what this sticker's from? What is your favorite town, city outside the Boise metro area? I wouldn't mind moving to Moscow. Moscow. I would really love to live there. Oh, okay. Outside the Boise metro area. Moscow. Nick Johnson did a video on the negatives, positives, and recovery of his hometown San Bernardino, as we called it growing up. Um, yeah, Nick's done a few things about San Bernardino. I was just talking to him the other day. Me and him, we talk every once in a while, our stats and what's going on with the channel and stuff like that. It was just the other morning. It's so funny. I'm one of these people, I work till 3 in the morning. If I'm working on videos, I go to bed at 3 in the morning. Uh, being a person that kinda has ADHD, I need total quiet. So once everyone's in bed, I can do my best work. Um, so usually Nick will text me or call me, and I've only he's on the East Coast. I've only been in bed, like, 3 hours when he's texting me, so I think he knows that I call him around 2 o'clock his time. I haven't seen Nick's news video today. Alright. Mike, again, thank you again for supporting the channel. You're given $5,000,000 with a stipulation you have to buy a home. Where do you buy a home? Ooh, good question. Where do I buy a home? Well, I probably wanna stay in the Pacific Northwest, or I would go to New England, maybe Pennsylvania. And off the top of my head, I would probably move to Lake Oswego, which is outside the it's in Portland metro area, I guess you could say. It's a little lake. It's beautiful, and it's where, you have a lot of Portland trailblazers moving to, stuff like that. But you could probably get a nice house for 3 to 3,000,000, 4,000,000 that's on the lake. And you're on a lake. It's a good sized lake. It's not Lake Powell or the Great Lakes, but it's a lake, and you could have a house with a dock and a boat right there in Portland metro area where I'd buy. Chris, thank you very much. Thanks for hanging out. It's after 5, buddy. Here, let's get back to another one of my questions. Here's one from Mr. Bo V. Um, where did you get your various stats from about crime and such? I strongly consider moving to Tennessee, and I want a smaller town, reasonably safe, semi-retirement. Okay, so he just wants to know where I get my stats. So this is my favorite. My preferred pronouns are hee haw, yelled as loud as possible, please. That's great. So, where do I get my stats? A lot of different areas. Area Vibe, niche.com. Sometimes their stats are outdated, so I will go to the source. I'll go to the FBI's crime report, census, their community survey, Department of Labor and Statistics. I get a lot of stuff from. I get a lot of stuff from the CDC or the World Health Organization. I also get a lot of information from Department of Commerce is big. Uh, Yeah, those I usually if I see something that's interesting, I just double check it with the main source, which is usually a government, data collection thing. Now, that should be a crime in itself. Getting mugged is bad, but you're on your way to the comic book store and someone mugs you? That sucks. Okay, I hope I didn't miss anything. Oh, so yeah, that's where I get all my information. Mr. Bovee. Yeah, CIA has World Factbook too. I get stuff there also. Santa Cruz has those little what is that little area right there with those cute little houses in there? Oh my god, I love that. Santa Cruz. I have another niece that went to Santa Cruz, right there by the river that comes out, San Lorenzo River. Yeah, that's it. Where are those little houses that are adorable there? I think that's it. No, that's not it. San Lorenzo's where the, amusement park is. Oh, hell. I forget. I'm turning in my grandmother. Oh, hell. I forget what I'm thinking about. Oh well. I used to go to the Santa Cruz boardwalk all the time. It was a lot of fun. Did I miss anything good? Oh, I did. Nope. Did I get this? Mike, I did get that one. $5 million. Boom, 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 boom. Briggs. Okay, got that one. Our hospital here sucks. Worse broke. It's not a broke. um, but Coopertown is phenomenal. But yeah, Coopertown's nice. Yeah, Nick. Sometimes I do use Zillow data, Nick. Yeah, true. That's usually so. Whenever I'm talking about real estate prices, I'd always give the median. Before, 2, 3 years ago, I'd give the median home price because that's the most accurate. But a lot of people don't understand what median is, and they don't care. They just want to know, what am I looking at? So that's why in a lot of my videos, I'll tell you, look, on the low end, this is what you're looking for at a house, middle of the road, and then it goes up. Starting the higher end stuff starts around 700,000. Um, that's where I get called out the most about people because I'm giving prices for the day, and they want to know, it's like 6 months down the line, and numbers have changed drastically, and they're calling me out on it. It's like, no, dude, look at the upload date. But yeah, that's where I get a lot of data from Zillow and Redfin. Hey, Pharaoh, how are you? Oh yeah, so Nick, that was like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, something like that. When he came to Portland, we went out and had a couple beers. We got thrown out of a bar actually. Um, So, yeah, that was a pretty intense trip he did. He went to all the places. He just found out where all the homeless camps were in Los Angeles, San Francisco, Portland, Seattle. I think he went down to San Diego, could be wrong. And he went and filmed in all those. And it was a great series. It did really well for him. I looked at the numbers. They're outstanding. Yo, Briggs, line behind you. Is it dimmable? It is dimmable. Are you talking about the Earth or these ones over here? Everything's dimmable. I could turn it on, I could turn it off. Watch this. I can do this. They all go off. They all come back on. I also got this thing can change colors. Let's go green, go red, let's go pink. That's pink. It looks purplish though. That's blue, green, and my yellow still looks green. That's supposed to be red. It looks red, I guess. Got it. Get it good. All the fun spots. There we go. Who we got here? Fiddly, how are you, buddy? Ooh, sending me those Australian dollars. Thanks, Briggs. Live stream, cricket. You got to watch cricket, buddy. Um, you enjoy your cricket match. One of these days, I played cricket and I didn't understand what I was doing one time. Only tried it once for like a half hour. Interesting thing. But thanks for hanging out, Findley. Sorry, I can't even speak right now. You have a good night, buddy, or day. Where do I get dimmable table lamp? The ones over there? Those are what are those called? Oh, come on. Those are called Hue Play 2. No, Hue Go. Or no, that's the wrong one. Hue Go. Yeah. HUE. I think they're by GE. Hue Go. You could just set them up and there's an app that comes with it and you just do whatever you want. I can change the color on all those, whatever I want. Um, this one's Gallery of Scenes. That one's nice. Let's go a little red. There you go. So yeah, I do have a lava lamp back there. It's not plugged in right now. My son got it. It's pretty cool. I think the worst lava lamp I've ever seen, it was at a comedy club in Culver City, California. And I'm looking behind the bar. It's huge lava lamp. The base of it was about size of a football, and it went up. It was, let's call it the base fluid that the other fluids floating in. So the base fluid was like bright yellow. The other one was brown. It looked disgusting, but it was very interesting. Absolutely. Thanks for hanging out. Nick's got a pretty interesting channel. Mappy's pretty funny. I think it's a nice little add-on thing. When you travel to other states, you go to numerous restaurants. Barbecue seems to be your favorite. Yeah, it is. Would you go to a top 10 choices barbecue, da da da, restaurants and name the cities? So over the last 3 years, every time I go someplace, I'll collect a little footage, and I I plan on doing something like that. But I want to make sure I get to the place before I make a video. Right now, I think I've been to 15 places, and I've like 7 barbecue this is in the last few years, probably more than 15. I think I filmed 15 that I thought were worthy, but then later on I thought, and I got it down to 7. So I need like 3 more quality barbecue places in my travels. I'm sure I'm gonna pick up at least 1 when I get to, New Orleans in the end of January. Sadly, I had big plans for San Antonio. San Antonio has great tacos. San Antonio has great barbecue. The weekend I went, it was towards the end of pandemic. Everything was closed down because it was out of season, and it was the weekend they drained the frickin' walk river, the river walk. They drained it, so nobody was there. All the shops decided to close down for the week because it just bummed out. I flew all the way there just to check out and film the river walk, and it was the absolute worst weekend to show up. Next time you come by Honesdale and the Poconos Briggs, I'll hook you up with Windman. Oh, there you go. Shawnee Windman, huh? Where is that? Oh, East Roswell, New York. Okay. On the Poconos, huh? Oh yeah, you're not too far away from Honesdale, are you? Oh, there's Wilkes-Barre. Yeah, you're no. There's Scranton, Hawley, Honesdale. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're just down a bit. You're down there by Stroudsburg. Shawnee. Check out what this place is all about. Do you work there? Yeah, that's a beautiful place. Nice in the woods there. Not bad. Yeah, it's that really sucked going out there for that. No, I do live streams all the time. You might think I don't do live streams because I take them down after I put them up. The reason for that is if you're watching the live stream right now, chances are you knew it was happening and it's what you're expecting this. If I leave them up too long, people show up to my channel expecting lists, and then they find this hour and a half, 2 hour long thing, and they're like, "What is this?" And they unsubscribe. So I take them down after I put them up. They actually hurt the channel. What do we got here? Did I miss anything besides this one? Super chat. Sorry, this isn't. It's worth everything. It doesn't. You don't even have to give me anything. Um, question: what did you decide about McMuffin streams? Okay, good question. Do you think gun laws will become stricter in the U.S. in the next year or two? Um, I think there's a good chance gun laws can become stricter. Uh, but you never know. I mean, we haven't had a big shooting in a couple days, so people kind of forget about that stuff. I'm a gun owner. This is the way I view it. It's my own personal thing, and I don't need a discussion on it. But I own guns, and I don't need a machine gun. I don't need an assault weapon. It's just my thing. I don't think anyone does. I've been in the military. I know what those things can do. Personally, don't need a discussion on it, and I won't discuss it with anyone. It's just my personal view. I don't think normal people need those things. That's just me. You do you. But yeah, I do think it's going to be that way. They're going to find something that's going to keep both sides happy, and it's going to be a little restrictive. But I think it'll go back to normal. And as far as McMuffin goes, I've had a whole bunch of emails. I've actually talked to a few people about making her pen and her indoor pen and her outdoor pen look a lot nicer, and then just start filming it. I'm about to yawn, guys. That's why I'm doing this weird thing with my body. Whew, I'm getting tired. All right, an hour and a half. Grants Pass. Grants Pass Canyonville. Grants Pass is cool? Since when? I mean, people in Oregon call it Grants Ass for a reason. Um, Thoughts on Grants Pass? That's my thought on Grants Pass. Um, so yeah. But oh, by the way, guys, thank you, Donna Lynn. I appreciate that. Thank you for supporting the channel. And you too, Matt. I appreciate you supporting the channel, guys. Yeah, I mean, the gun thing, it's in our Constitution. And the Constitution has had adjustments before. Do you get rid of something completely out of the Constitution? Absolutely not. Can there be adjustments? I think so. But we'll always have guns in our society. It's just part of our thing. I mean, the revolution was only 200 something years ago, right? About 250 years ago. And if it wasn't for people having access to weapons, we'd be part of England right now. Now, that's going back a long way, and it's a fictional thing, but is it? I mean, it's not fictional. It's really not something that'll probably happen. At least we think. I mean, who knows? Who knows? That's just my opinion. Shaq Elliott, thank you for supporting the channel. Appreciate all the love you give to the Poconos. I think it would be awesome if you would stay at the Shawnee Resort and see some more folks. I absolutely will give it a thought. I'll actually look into it. Briggs, do you think New Mexico, Louisiana, or Mississippi will begin to be a moving hotspot? Well, I think New Mexico will before any place else. The poverty in Louisiana and Mississippi is just too bad, and they're not doing anything to do it. New Mexico, I know for a fact they're trying a lot of different things to help out the state and get people out of poverty. They're one of the only states that I think are looking way forward. What I was talking about earlier, people don't look forward enough. Politicians, at least they want to see their results. So if it's going to take them too long, New Mexico's kind of trying to deal with it. Mike, thanks again for supporting the channel. Where do you pizza? Where do you go for it? New York, Chicago, Detroit, New Haven. Been many years since I had New Haven pizza, and I only went to one place. So let's take that out of the equation. Detroit, I like pizza. New York, I love their pizza. Chicago's the greatest thing that mankind has ever made. Chicago style pizza is my favorite thing. I'm actually starting to mouth water right now thinking about it. When I've gone to Chicago, I'm not thinking about the job I have to do or anything like that. I've gone out there for recording things. All I'm thinking about is if I'm there 3 days, how many different pizza places can I eat at? The Chicago pizza to me is the best food out there. Did I miss yours by accident? What did I miss? Denzel, let me see here. Want to watch the videos, Briggs? I will. Denzel, thanks, man. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. I appreciate it. You have a great night. I watch about 50 of your videos, and I can't believe I just subscribed. Really? Thank you for all your knowledge. Thank you, Oscar, for subscribing and watching my videos. Appreciate it. Guys, like I always say, If I miss anything on here, I'm sorry. I don't have anyone running it. I do it by myself. We got 150 people in the chat right now, and I'm gonna miss something. Don't be offended by it. I'm not ignoring anyone. It just moves pretty quick. Hey, David, how are you? Thought Boston Tea Party was part of our War of Freedom in England. Yeah, it was, but that was just part of it. If I had to move out of Oregon, it would be Pennsylvania or New England, somewhere in there. I don't really need hot weather. I like a good snow. I like green scenery. I like water. I have no need to be in the South, and I have no need to be in the desert. I don't need to be really high up in the mountains either. So Pacific Northwest, Pennsylvania, New England, those are all great places for me. Pacific Northwest, Medford or Yakima? That's a good question. I would probably go with Yakima. Doing great, David. When is your next live stream? Now, I always say I'd like to do it again next week or whatever, but sometimes things get in the way. It's a world of living with ADHD. I sometimes get carried away. And besides, next Saturday is the 24th. Maybe I'll do one next Friday. We'll give that a shot next Friday. And like the morning of the 23rd, I'll probably post on the community tab. And if you are subscribed to the channel, you'll get an alert for that normally. Oh, Pennsylvania summers are brutal. Trust me, I've been through a couple of them, not a few. And I went there in August twice. It was rough, but nothing's perfect. Huntsville, I got to do more about Huntsville. Huntsville is if people right away people hear Alabama and they just think guys in overalls and their tractor and talking real slow. Huntsville is not like the rest of Alabama. Not a lot of people understand that. Because of the rocket industry and the NASA connection there, Huntsville actually has more doctorates per capita than any other city in the United States. What is my favorite underrated vacation spot? Alaska. I love going to Alaska. Ooh, that's a question I got too. This is a weird one. So I go on cruises now. That's kind of been my thing. We're trying out cruises. I'm thinking about my vlogging channel is going to be more and more about cruises. And so I got this question from Melanie. Briggs, what's the deal with the cruises? You're not like the other cruise channels. Well, I'm not a cruise channel. All your cruises come with a butler, and you have really nice rooms. What's the deal? How can you afford that? Okay, so here's the deal. I don't take those cruises for their full price. That's the first thing. I get extremely good discounts for those. Okay, so that's my thing. And there's a lot of cruise channels, and what I'm focusing on is the higher end of cruising. But I've figured out ways to get that higher end cruising about half price. So I get below half price because of different things I do. So yeah, that's how I get the really nice rooms, and that's what I want to build on. If I do a cruising channel, it's going to be the higher end cruising. Now, not higher end like I'm on a yacht or something like that. A lot of people don't understand that cruise ships have the normal section of the cruise, which is nice and wonderful, but then they also have the kind of key card area. I just, get some strings pulled and do some things, and I get in those areas for a pretty good price. Now, other cruise channels, like let's say Don's Family Vacation, he's a good one. La Vida Loca, they're a good one. Emma Cruise, EECC Cruises, they'll go on a couple cruises a month. I go on maybe a cruise every 3 months, every 6 months, something like that. So they can afford to do a whole bunch. The way I'm doing them, even though I'm getting them for really cheap, they're still more expensive than what they're paying. So I only go on them quarterly, if that. Yeah, that wasn't the cruise industry. That was one company. One company got shut down. They were they were on their way back from like the St. Thomas or something. They were heading to Miami, and they found out the company, one of the cruise ships found out the company hadn't paid for the fuel bill, and the government was going to confiscate the boat. So they turned around and went someplace else, told everyone, figure it out on your own, and they dropped them off like in, I don't know, Cuba or whatever. But yeah, that was just one company. Yeah, Mobile's always had a good shipbuilding industry, and they got a lot of really good military vessels coming out of there. Grants Pass. Okay. How about Klamath Falls? They're still about the same. Let me get on here and see what their Grants Pass. So let's just start with the basics. Okay, so their overall score is 65. Okay, if you're below 70, you start getting in the area of this place might suck. Um, their crime rate is their violent crime rate's doing better. Last year it was 23% above the national average. 2019 was 22% above the national average. Right now, their violent crime rate, or I'm sorry, in 20 and 21. In 22, it's 11% below the national average, which is phenomenal. Their total crime rate is 43% above, and their property crime rate is 54% above the national average. When I see numbers like that, that tells me they still got a pretty bad drug problem because drug addicts don't assault people, drug addicts steal your crap. And if your property crime is high and your violent crime is low, that's exactly what it tells me. You got a bunch of tweakers living in your town. Look at Klamath Falls. Klamath Falls, it's about the same, but it's more beautiful. More beautiful, is that a word? Okay, here you go. Total crime rate's 51% above the national average, and their property crime rate is 51% above the national average, and their violent crime rate is 53% above the national average. They also don't really have jobs. Their unemployment's 85% above the national average. Yeah, Klamath Falls ain't great, but it is beautiful. So there's that. Now, are those the absolute worst things? No, because both of them are pretty cheap to live in. I mean, their Klamath Falls, their cost of living is 8% below the national average. Housing is 24% below the national average. So, no place is going to be perfect. So you just got to do what you got to do. Oh, it looks like I missed a couple. Here's one. Boom. What's this one? Um, Coffee and chocolate again. Thank you very much. Are there places besides Pacific Northwest and Nashville that's great? Yeah, I kind of talked about that. Let me see here. Let me think. So the South, the South, you never know what you're going to get when you move someplace. But like I was saying, the Low Country, Charleston down to Bluffton area, that's going to be pretty good. Asheville, probably not the best. Now, we were just talking about the Appalachian Mountains. You probably want to stay out of that area. Probably not the best. Um, but you know what? Wisconsin could be decent. Madison, outside of Milwaukee, the suburbs are nice. Those are pretty good. That's where I would look. Those places. Now, if you're looking for a town to nail down, Madison's a good option, and I would say Charleston or Bluffton, not just the whole area. Charleston or Bluffton. Stay away from Myrtle Beach, though. That sucks. Thank you for supporting the channel, Coffee and Chocolate. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. This one. Have you ever done anything on national park trips? Favorite. My favorite national park. Ooh, it's a good one. Acadia National Park was pretty good. Of course, Rocky Mountain National Park's great. Um, David. Anyway, got it. Get it. with it. Look forward to your next video. Take care. Have a safe. You too, David. Take care. Be safe. Um, but yeah, I really like Acadia National Forest and Denali. Denali is amazing. I am a new subscriber. I'm looking for an inexpensive place to move. I want to leave Florida, and I do not like it much. You don't like cold. Okay. So once you get out of the South, it can be cold anywhere. If you don't want to go to the deserts, like Texas, something like that. If you were going to move to Texas, I would suggest there's a couple different places. But if you want to get out of the cold, definitely look at Arizona. Prices are going down there. Not by much, but they are. Um, Southern California is too expensive for just about anyone. But you also have places like Tennessee. Tennessee's a great option. You might want to look at Tennessee, especially around Knoxville. Chattanooga, we just talked about that the other day. Stay out of Memphis, but Nashville is also an option, and the areas around there. All right, guys. Tell you what, I'm getting kind of punchy because I've been doing this about an hour and 45 minutes, and I'm getting a little, I don't want to say confused, but I get a little punchy if I've been doing this too long. Here, let's see this one. Hold on one second. Antoinette Lee Thomas, I've been here 5 years since you've done top 10 reasons not to move to Las Vegas. Would you do a follow up? Top 10 reasons not to move to Las Vegas 5 years later. I really should, especially since the first one I did, I really didn't do much research. That video wasn't even meant. I've talked about this before on the channel. That video wasn't even supposed to be going up to YouTube. My channel was small. I made that video to make fun of a friend who was moving to Las Vegas. And there was done with very little research. It was just a bunch of stereotypical things I had heard and knew about. And yeah, I really need to redo that one. All right, everyone. That's going to be it for me. I appreciate everyone hanging out here. Always a good time. We're going to shoot for doing this again on Friday, one last time before the new year. Everybody have a great night.